Welcome back. I am doing a everyday makeup tutorial today, and this is long overdue. I feel like I've done shorter versions of this on my Instagram stories before, but I've never actually sat down and done a full video. So today's the day, and this is what it's going to look like at the end. So I'm about to wipe my face off, and then we could take it from the top. Okay, so my face is cleansed, but before I get started, there are a few important things to note. One is that I just got back from both Vegas and Miami, so my skin's a little tanner and freckled, so I am using some darker shades of makeup. Two is that when I say everyday makeup tutorial, I really mean twice a week. I really only wear makeup like this when I'm going to events. My day-to-day, usually I just like go to the gym and come home and work from home, so I don't wear makeup on those days. So if I were actually doing this every single day, 7 days a week, not sure I would be doing it this heavy, but this is the makeup that I use when I'm shooting with my photographer and when I'm going to meetings, sometimes even for a night out or for a date, just when I want to look alive and look better than this. So bear with me. I keep everything that I use really on a day-to-day basis in this tiny little makeup bag. The reason why I like to make sure everything fits in this little bag is because I travel so often, so I just want to be able to pick this up and take it with me. So I do have moisturizer on my face. And the next step to making sure that your skin is great and ready to go is applying a primer. So I use this one from Hourglass Cosmetics. This is life-changing. It's called Veil, and it's truly the most unique formula I've ever felt. I know that sounds dramatic, but I can't even explain it. It comes out like a liquid. I do like 1 to 2 pumps. That was kind of a lot. So it comes out like a liquid, but when it goes on, it feels like a powder. I don't even know how to describe it. I'm gonna put some on my eyelids. So as you rub it in, it truly feels like silk. So this really just like kind of like fills in your pores and covers up your skin and primes it for the makeup that we're about to be putting on it. So I kind of just put that all over anywhere that I'll be applying makeup. Okay, next I do my tinted moisturizer. When I was a little bit paler 2 weeks ago, I was using this Laura Mercier one. And this is Color Sand. And the reason I was using this is because it's super light. This is actually the first tinted moisturizer I ever used when I was younger and I wanted to get into wearing foundation. This is what they told me to wear, and since I don't like wearing heavy makeup, I did start using this again. However, I am tanner, so I do have this MAC Prep and Prime BB cream. It is SPF 35. This is medium dark. Because I am tanner, I am using this darker shade. It is a little bit thicker than the Laura Mercier one, but if I'm shooting with my photographer, or if you do like more full coverage, then I definitely recommend this. So I do have this Hourglass Cosmetics foundation brush. So what I do is I take this and I put a generous amount right on top of the brush. I used to apply foundation with my hands because I felt like my brush ate up half of the product, which is probably still true, but I have recently gotten into using this and I don't hate it. So then I kind of just take it and blot it around my face, making sure that I am getting every area. And once you could tell it's all over, you just kind of want to start patting it slowly and then rubbing it in. Don't forget under here. So you really want to take your time here. You need to make sure that this is really rubbed in. You don't want to be streaky. Make sure you get the areas that are harder to, or less obvious, like in between here. Okay. Okay, we're rubbed in. Next, I take my concealer. I've talked about this before, and I'm almost out, and I'm so sad. This is Lasting Perfection concealer by this brand called Collection, I want to say. It is washed off completely. I got this in London at Fashion Week, and I just am obsessed with it, and I need to write to them because I need this. I use Warm Medium 3, and I would show you what it is, but there's nothing left. I take this and I just dab it like this. I used to do that whole thing where I would paint it in a triangle, but I don't love my under eyes being super, super white like some people. I think it could look a little frightening when your under eyes are like super like white and everything else is tan. So I just kind of do it like this. Take my beauty blender and I take my MAC Prep and Prime, and I actually just like wetten this with it. So I do 2 sprays. Most people wet it with just like water, but I saw this on another tutorial and I actually really like it. So first you just blend in the little bit of concealer that you put on your chin, then on your forehead. And with the Beauty Blender, you really just want to kind of pat it in. Then you take it under your eyes. If you're looking for a concealer that isn't UK based, I really like It Cosmetics as well as NARS. I move on to my bronzer next. And I just bought this new brush from Makeup Forever, and it is 130, and it is the fluffiest, softest brush in the entire world. And I like my bronzer brush to be really fluffy and wide, because I feel like when they're condensed, then when you go like this to put the bronzer on your face, you end up with like a circle of bronzer, and I want it to just smooth out all over. So in that same vein, I'll show you in a second. Actually, let me first tell you what this is. My bronzer that I use is Hoola by Benefit. If you don't know, now you know. This is the best bronzer. I've tried everything. Always come back to this. It's matte. It doesn't have any sparkles or shimmer in it, which I like because I add that in later with my highlighter. Highly recommend. Take my big brush, dip it in there generously, blow it off. And then since you don't want, I'm going back to what I was saying before, since you don't want that dab of bronzer, I start under here, because it's okay if it's a little darker under there. And then I move up onto my cheeks. And you really want to focus on your cheeks here, here, and on your forehead, on the sides. I am generous with my bronzer. I do it here because I personally, I know people say to go in a 3, which I try to do, but I personally think it's super weird if you leave this entire section of your mouth not bronzed. I can't do it. I never have been able to. I think it makes me look like a freak. So I bronze it there. Sorry if that's not official or what you're supposed to do, but if you're like me and you don't want half of your face being a different color, I recommend you do the same. Okay, so now that I'm bronzed, I move on to my blush. I use MAC blush. This is color Melba Matte. So I use this Makeup Forever brush. I also just bought this. I didn't want to spend the money on a highlighting brush and a blush brush because they're like $50 as is. So I just went on the double one, and honestly, best decision I could have made. It is wavy and straight wavy on either side, and it is brush 158. So I use the one that looks just like a straight edge for my blush. So I dip it in generously there. And then you want to make that weird face that you see your mom make. Yep, that one. And do the balls of your cheeks. And then what I do is I take the other end, which isn't a straight edge, it's kind of more on a horizontal. I totally made that up, diagonal. That's the correct word. And I use my highlighter. So I love Laura Geller. And this is Baked Gelato Swirl Illuminator, and the color is Ballerina. This comes in multiple shades. I use the one that's more of a bronze tone, if you could see that. I take that tilted brush and I just do a few sweeps. And then I highlight right above my blush and under my eye upwards towards my hairline. So I don't know if you could see that in the lighting, but I do have a highlight. And then I take the remaining and I just go down the middle of my nose, a little bit above my lip, and I go on my eyelids. So we're almost done here because I actually have eyelash extensions on, if you could see. So I don't really do eyeliner or mascara. That is the beauty of having them. So if I'm feeling like it, I will do eyeshadow. I've been loving this new Urban Decay palette. It is Beached Eyeshadow palette. They sent this to me, and it has these really beautiful tones in it. I use this one, Salt, and this one, Blaze. And then for my crease, I use this one, 16th Street. The others are a little too funky for me, but I still love this palette. So I start by mixing the top two, Salt and Blaze, onto a brush like this. And I just put them here. As I got older and the bronzing phase got in where everyone likes to look illuminated, I really started steering away from doing dark makeup or smoky eyes. Personally, I have really small eyes and I feel like it closes in my face. So what I've really tried to do is just do eyelashes and glowy makeup on my eyelids. I know that doesn't work for everyone, but that's what I feel like I like on myself the best. So then next I do my brows. I really don't need to do my brows that much because I'm Italian and I am both blessed and cursed with a shit ton of hair. So there are a few things that I do. I take this Stila Stay All Day Waterproof Brow Color. This is just colored dark. I think it's pronounced Stila, but to me intuitively I read Stila. And I take this and first I just comb my brows with the brush. See how like they're kind of funky. And I have like a little bald spot. I always talk about this, you can see it right there. So all I really do is just like color in that little bald spot. And then on the next eye, I actually got stitches right here. You can see there's kind of a little patch of hair that I'm missing. See right there, because I walked into a pole. Yeah, let that sink in a little bit. And I luckily had an amazing doctor fix it, so I don't really have a scar, but I am missing hair, so color it in. I'm not really doing a great job because it's hard to look into the camera and do this, but you get the gist of it. Just kind of connect these lines. If I go a little overboard, I just kind of wipe it with my finger and then comb it. And lastly, what I use on my brows is this L'Oreal Paris Brow Stylist Boost and Set. It is voluminizing brow mascara. And what I like about this is that it has this tiny little brush and it's tinted dark brown. And you could just brush your brows into place. and it kind of just keeps them where they need to be. I don't think I forgot anything. And then usually as the last step, I do my lips. I am a big lip girl. I feel like a really subtle eye and nude lip is kind of my signature, and I don't really intend on changing it anytime. I try sometimes to do different colors, and it just doesn't feel like me, and I like to feel like myself. So usually I start with Aquaphor. If you don't know what this is, you are living under a rock. I put a tiny bit on my lips because otherwise if you put too much, sometimes your liner really won't go on well, or your lipstick, but I do like the way it makes my lips feel. Today, I am going to be lining my lips with L'Oreal Paris Color Rich Matte, and I'm trying to see what color this is for you guys. Oh, it's 110 Matte's It, like that's it but matte. So it's sharpened, and if you guys could see, I have like the shadow, like my lips kind of go up, so I color in that line. And then I use my all-time favorite lipstick that you could always count on me to be wearing. It is Bare Minerals. It is called Sex Pot. I've talked about it before. I absolutely love it. Look at the shape of it because I use it so much. It's like super sketchy, but I love it because it's fitted to my lips. And there you have it. This is my everyday, aka not so everyday, aka occasional makeup look, and I hope I was able to teach you guys something. As I said with my last video, I'm not a professional. I am just a girl that likes to do things on her own and watch tutorials like this one and teach myself how to do stuff. And if this could help you at all or inspire you to buy some new products, I'm all about it. So definitely leave a comment on my YouTube and let me know what you think. I hope you like this. I will link to all of these products. I will create a shorter version of this for my Instagram, and I will keep doing these. So if there's something specific that you want to see me explain in greater detail, or just something that you want me to do, definitely let me know. Please keep commenting, keep engaging. I want to really produce content that you guys are interested in seeing. So trying to keep this as quick as I can, but thank you guys so much, and here's my final look.